Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So certainly I did mention that we will be in conversation with a very inspiring Pakistani. What is he doing which is going to actually inspire a lot of people? First of all, he's a great entrepreneur who actually happens to be a trailblazing Pakistani American and a very intriguing one, and an intriguing candidate for county judge of Fort Bend County, Texas. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Wa alaikum assalam. Feeling wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. And we do know for a fact, how I was confused. And I actually had to reach out to you and was like, what is this post? What you're running for? Is it really you being a judge or whatnot? So I think let's get started from there, so that people actually know what you're doing. And then we'll move on towards why you're transitioning from being an entrepreneur and a very successful IT businessman to moving on to make sure that there's a lot of community work that you do.
Yeah, the position is called county judge.
Yeah.
But it is kind of confusing because it has nothing to do with judicial.
Oh.
So it's not a law position. It's an administrative position. It's designed for a businessman that knows how to negotiate contracts, knows how to manage budgets, knows how to motivate employees, knows how to do emergency management, everything that I have the skill set to and the qualifications to do. But it has nothing to do with law. For some reason, they call it county judge because you're overseeing 4 commissioners, and you're kind of guiding, or in a judicial format, you're kind of guiding how that court is ran.
True.
So they named it county judge. Confuses most people.
All right. You've explained that very well. I mean, we have a deep sense of understanding now of what you are going to be doing. But first things first, we do want to congratulate you, as you are the only Muslim Pakistani who is actually in this race to compete for this position. And how do you think is this going to impact the reforms that you are going to bring about?
Well, I would love to use the title of saying that, I'd be the first Muslim county judge or in this type of position in all of America, right? So that'll be the highest ranked official that America would have in a political position within that environment. But my aim is not to be just the first Muslim. My aim is to be the best county judge that my county's ever seen or Texas has ever seen. Need I say, I would want to be the best America has ever seen.
Oh no, that's spoken like a true American.
So,
I mean, we love the enthusiasm that you are bringing to this campaign that you have.
Personally speaking, the diaspora has now gone over to 250,000 plus, which makes us the largest diaspora in America of Pakistanis. And within our community of Fort Bend County, there's about 100,000 Pakistanis that are there. And we need representation from Pakistani perspective, from a Muslim perspective. And we've always heard that the younger generation has to step up and take, some sort of engagement in civics. Yeah. And that's kind of answering the call.
All right. I mean, very well said.
Exactly, which is why, now imagine that, this is that time where you certainly should be campaigning, right? But what brings you to Islamabad?
Elections are right around the corner. They start in the Mubarak month of Ramzan in February 17th, and the election day is actually March 3rd. I came because of family obligations. My brother-in-law, the youngest brother of my wife, was getting married, and she wouldn't let me stay back. So, plus I have business interests here. I'm heavily invested in Pakistan and in the Pakistani economy. I'm one of the largest 100 IT exporters. Wow. My office is here in the Vacuum Trust right next to the Marriott. Company is called Point of IT, and we have over 100 employees that we manage over here. So that company needed me as well for a particular project that I had to come by as well. And then
and that's exactly where it gets tricky, and it's because of the fact, now imagine that so you were a successful business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're looking after your office as well, but here you are transitioning from being a business owner to be somebody who's actually going to serve his community in the best of the manner. Now, how do you think that you'll be able to create a balance? And certainly you were born in Punjab, and that part of your journey, how does it shape for what you're going to do now?
That's a great question. I'm lucky that I have situated some great partnerships. I have 3 partners here that manage the business primarily. I'm more of a figurehead, and I take care of a lot of things in the U.S. I feel that I'm able to make time for this position because it's important. Sometimes you have to make time for something that's important, right? Things can lead to misinformation. Like people in our community are heavily supporting Palestine, which is something that you mentioned.
Yep.
And therefore, they can get some negative feedback. You need people in power, you need people in office that can represent your people, that can protect their rights, their First Amendment rights for freedom of speech. You need them to be able to be protected against any sort of uprise that can go against the Muslim community. You need them to protect the rights of the small business owners that we represent a pretty large portion of within our community. So it's just a matter of need. I work very hard to build initiatives that will not only help our population and Muslims and Pakistanis, but any Fort Bend resident. And that sets my campaign apart.
Exactly.
Therefore, and believe it or not, there's actually 8 Pakistani Americans running for political positions within our county.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's
I'm just one
exceptional.
of them.
Huh? Oh, wow. We're so happy to hear that. I think we're overjoyed to see how Pakistani Americans are on the rise and they do want to achieve what is best. But we're actually very curious about how did you move from within the realm of technology, artificial intelligence? As you said, you are the owner of a point of IT, which is based in Islamabad. How did you discover the realm of public service or administration that you're pursuing now?
Actually I was a brand consultant. I've always been in the realm of consulting people on how to get their brand image right and helping companies succeed over time. But what ends up happening is that I got engaged by some politicians that wanted my help in their branding and marketing. And the Democratic Party was very kind to me and very nice to me in Fort Bend County. As I engaged, I actually started doing political consulting. I've now ran over 40 political campaigns, many of them more successful than not. And over time, it was just a matter of, I got tired of people just kind of promising things and not delivering on them. Politics has a tendency to do that. I'm not a career politician. This is my first race. I'm kind of entering in it as a businessman because I'm a problem solver by nature. So I'm taking the problems that our county has, coming up with solutions, and I want to bring that to the community in Fort Bend. So it wasn't something that I sought out. It was just something that I kind of fell into.
Exactly. So eventually, and it's because of your work and the people that you met, and you were actually roped into it. That's fine because they might have seen the capacity and ability of your problem solving. But if elected, to position, inshallah, I mean, I'm sorry that I'm actually asking you this question. What benefits do you think that that the Pakistani diaspora in your county can actually expect from you?
Well, not only can Pakistani diaspora expect benefits, so can the community here in Pakistan as well. I've already shown my commitment. I don't have to have businesses in Pakistan in order to be able to do well, right? So I chose to have businesses here. I chose to have ventures here. I chose to employ Pakistanis here. I want to carry that throughout the Pakistani diaspora. I think the future of Pakistan requires that we connect better with our Pakistani diaspora and do business with each other. I'm all about commerce. I'm a businessman, right? So I believe that me being in office would lead to better opportunities for Pakistanis in our communities, not only abroad, but also here.
Exactly. And while you say so, because you're not a career politician, what decisions do you think that you will be taking which others cannot while being in a position or probably, who've actually had a career of a politician?
Before I got into politics, I thought that politics wasn't really something that was for me, right? Because I always thought that it had too much corruption involved in it, right? It's just the stigma that's around it. But actually, that's not the case. Politicians, actually, there's a lot of people that are out there to do good for the people. Yeah. They're there to serve the people. And if you do it for the right reasons, and if you do it for without any influence or any let's just say, any favors owed to somebody, right? Then I believe that you can technically make a real difference for the people, do what's right for the people. And I mean, call it naivety. I don't know what will happen once I'm in office, but I believe that my skills in negotiating contracts and being able to work across the aisle, I'm not necessarily a liberal. I'm not an over the top conservative either. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm a centrist. And I believe that that things can get done for the betterment of the community as a whole. And that's for every Fort Bend resident, right? Including the Muslims and the Pakistanis.
Exactly. I think that's wonderful. And that's certainly the kind of answer that I was expecting for somebody, because who's going to be at that position, inshallah. And if elected to that position, because
When?
yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But what's going to happen is that, certainly your background is from information technology and you've done quite a lot as well. You've provided people with a lot of solutions. You've done a lot of campaigns already. So what rolls out first, number one? And number two, because you mentioned about, your heavy investments in Pakistan businesses over here, does it make, I'm sorry that I'm asking you this, but do you think that might probably be a day when you transition from a US-based politician to a Pakistani-based politician?
Look, I don't know much about Pakistani politics at all. I love my country for its food, for its people, for its culture. I don't know much about Pakistani politics at all. I do speak pretty fluent Urdu. You never say never for anything. Urdu and Punjabi is something that's part of my culture, and I'm pretty close to my culture. But my focus right now is to make a difference in the USA.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's
Wonderfully
wonderful.
put
Thank you so
together. It
much,
was
Eddie.
lovely to have such an enthusiastic and committed personality in our studios today
Wonderful
to
to have
talk
you.
more about, influencing all the young Pakistani Americans who want to rise and shine and maybe accomplish more than they would dream.